Through Scope, this is Queez. Appreciate everybody's been rocking with the channel, supporting and subscribing. We appreciate it all, man. Is there trouble in Chicago? Not the Bulls, not the White Sox, for the Sky. So look, man, we got the Angel Reese comments. If y'all didn't see those comments, she did an interview with Chicago Tribune, and the fallout from that led to some suspensions, or if that's what you call it, temporary suspension, whatever. Some team meetings, probably some pissed off teammates, and a bunch of, PR cleanups by, either her or the team and all that type of stuff like that. But we got to start off to who Angel is, man. Look, this is her.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
Now, I didn't play that clip to make anybody diss her, to make anybody talk crap about her, to say that she's this evil person. But that's somebody who took a leadership role or alpha stance year one into the league. She already was on that. Look, this is my league. Not my league, but I'm, one of the main people that drive this league. I'm going to be one of the main people for the future. And look, I'm going to take that bad guy role if I need to, whether that be to win or to improve the league. That's what I'm going to do. So y'all see already that's already in her makeup. Year one is already in her makeup. And so now you get to the point now in her second year. Her first year went good. She broke records. She showed a lot of potential. A lot of people either got on the bandwagon or got off the bandwagon, depending on, how you wanted to look at her first year. But she had a successful first year, because it's all about you showing your talents in the first year, your potential. It's not about winning. It's not about going to the finals. Nobody expecting that to happen, because, most likely you going to a bad team if you get drafted where she got drafted. So we understand that. But now we're going to year two. She started off slow. Then she started getting her bag. Man, because I had some concerns about her, her lack of ability to be able to finish around the rim, and just the inconsistency in her game. I had questions, but she has been more consistent this year, turned up become a better playmaker, better finisher, better just consistent. She's more consistent. Rebounding is always going to be there. Defense is always going to be there. So she's shown me that, look, man, she could be an all-around player. Now, she ain't going to average triple doubles and nothing like that, but she going to be able to be somebody who give you 4 or 5 assists. You could put her at the top of the key and run the offense through her, half of the game or a quarter of the game. That's some of the skill set she's been showing. And even people that don't like her, hating on her, you can't really, bring up the layups no more, man. She's shooting 55, 60% now. So, obviously, you want to see that get higher, but she's getting better. So you see that happening. But when you start feeling yourself and you start getting in your bag, because that's what she in year two. She dang, man, I'm ready to compete. I'm ready to go up against the dogs. I'm ready to win. She hungry. And when it comes with that, you step into that leadership role a little bit. You start getting a little bit too much of a vocal leader and stepping into that role when you haven't really earned that to the outside world and to your teammates, man. You ain't get there yet. So let's see what happened from there, though. But so, y'all seen her comments. She basically said, look, y'all need to build around me. Not even just around me. Y'all need to get better players, but better players for me, because I plan on being here. All right? Y'all need to get better players. Team we got now ain't it. If y'all content with this squad, I can't be here. I got to think about my future. I can't be here. This ain't going to work. I ain't dealing with this shit again. I ain't dealing with us barely winning 10 games. I'm not dealing with that no more. Everybody winning in the league, a team going to playoffs. There's people that have got drafted higher than me. They in the playoffs. I ain't even experienced it yet. No, I'm not dealing with this. So that's where she at with it. And that's somebody who want to win. I'm not mad at her being like that. But it's a PR. It's a way to cover that up. It's a way to ask for better teammates and a better squad without making it seem like nobody on this, half of the team here isn't helping us win. You could have dressed it up and said yo, we need to add to what we got here. We got something good here. We need to add to it and bring in some more help for us. The way she kind of did it, she was like, yo, we need better players. We need to get good players, as if what she got ain't good or bad. that she ain't got no good players now. And then what she said about Courtney Vandersloot, who unfortunately had that, season in the injury early on, that was like more of a like you being direct. You like, yo, we can't rely on her. Like, she older, probably out the league in a year or this year. Her wife already retired, so I mean she probably on her way out too. So she's coming off a ACL injury. We can't bank on her to be helped because we don't even know how long she's gonna hold up. That's valid, but you ain't gotta say it. You ain't gotta say it. If the front office has anybody with a mind, a competent mind that can make decisions, they should already be knowing that. They should already know that. They should already be making moves in place to address that. But it seems like to me though, she just lacks faith in the ownership. Think about some of the things that happened since she been there. Like, she had Teresa Witherspoon as her coach, and that experiment didn't even last too. She had Teresa Witherspoon as her head coach. They didn't even let that experiment last that long to be able to fairly judge could she actually lead this team or grow with this team. You got to grow with the team. You can't just fire coaches a year or two into it, especially when they got 2 new rookies who are adjusting to the league. You can't really do you got to let them get their feet wet first. They got her out of there, and she was really good with the players. The players loved her. Angel loved her. I'm pretty sure everybody else loved her on the team. You didn't let her grow. You got her out of there. So that's strike one, I guess, for Angel. At least like the side eye went up. The left eye went up. She had to look around. And then you let Shanetti go. And that's somebody who helped carry that team where Angel either had an off night or the team just couldn't get it going. You can count on her to give you 20. And I know she has some off the court issues and, her attitude. There was things that people just criticized about her. But for the Sky, she was mainly, on a good head on her shoulders with the Sky. I mean, for her to be out the league completely, I haven't seen no story come out to say she did something crazy behind the scenes. It's just like the league was done with her. And that's what happens sometimes, man. You get a narrative on you and they just push you out. Even a 20-point scorer like her pushed her out in a league that, is dying for talent, or at least players like that, they definitely should be able to find a roster spot. You see all these people now who getting sign, release because all these injuries, and to see her outside the league, or I don't even know if she want to come back at this point, but I don't know if somebody made her a 10-day offer, 7-day, whatever they do. I ain't see it. So you got strike 2 on there for her as well. So that's strike 2. It's like, okay, y'all getting rid of good players. So that's what we doing now. We getting rid of good players. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then you have Marina. I think Marina was on that squad too. She was a scorer. So it's like, at some point, like, you getting rid of good players, and I don't know if Angel sees a direction or at least want to know where they going. So in her mind, she like, I gotta take control of this. I gotta force the hand. But you ain't Bron, you ain't Steph, you ain't none of them dudes yet. So you gotta have a certain type of cachet. You gotta earn that. The All-Star appearances are cool. Breaking records is cool. Getting better is cool. But you got to put a little bit more equity in the league before you start demanding things like that. Because when you go to get drafted where you got drafted, you expected to struggle a bit. Your teams don't really jump up and just start winning. A lot of people that get drafted where you get drafted or higher than you, they had to go on some bad teams and, they had to grind it out. You can't really expect to just start winning as soon as you get to the league. And I know you came from LSU, so you're used to it. But you in the grinding years, the prove you belong years. And if you're in a great organization that speeds things up, great. But that's where you at right now. Caitlin got lucky with the fever. They've been able to attract talent. They've been able to grow and add people like, they already had Kelsey, but, they've been able to grab people like Natasha Howard and, Dewana Bonner, before she did her whole thing. And, they've been able to get talent to help her. But, the Sky, that's not an attraction place. Outside of when, Candace got there, people wasn't lining up to go to Chicago. Then the last player they had, that they people just weren't lining up to go there. So that's just the struggle of being on a team that you're on. But I'm not mad if I got somebody who want to take the reins, who want to win. I ain't complaining. She does need to work on that though, because it seemed like the team wasn't receptive to that. They had to suspend you for a half. The Sky's so bad they couldn't even suspend her for a whole game. They was like, hey yo, man, we got at least be competitive, man. Let's just do 2 quarters. Let's suspend it for a half and we cool. Yeah, all right, water under bridge. That's what they did, you know. So I mean, at this point, you know, she's suspended again for another game for the Tex. So I mean, at this point though, she just gotta, you know, it comes better with time. You know, trying to be a leader, you got to be more careful with your words. But don't act like I believe every word she said. Every word she said, that's how she feel. She speaks her mind. That's how she feel. So she might be quieter now, but that don't mean she ain't looking at what y'all doing in the off season. It's important, and she will be on her way out if she don't see y'all start to build. And my thing is, I'm asking, like, you know, they don't have a problem because the players are there. You know, unless they revamp their whole roster, they remember what she said. And, you know, for somebody, if they look at her like you got some audacity, then they're going to take that negatively. And if they get traded from the team, they're going to look at her like, yo, did you get me out the team? And then you got the Sky. If they don't start winning by next year, what's she going to do? Is she going to become an issue for the team? Is she going to not be able to control her mouth and say something again? It could become an issue. She's doing this by year 2. So it could become an issue. I can't see her being in year 4 and the Sky are, you know, not in the playoffs, or they make it one out of the next 2 years. They need to make it both. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, I think, you know, the Sky spin her half. I think you overreacted. You just it's pointless at this point. That's another thing for her to be like, do y'all know what y'all doing? Y'all can't even discipline me right. Do y'all know what y'all doing? So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate everybody rocking with the channel. This is Queese. I'm out.